My name is Brett Dines, founder, CEO, OYE Therapeutics. OYE stands for Open Your Eyes. We are a clinical stage pharma company. We have 3 opportunities in our pipeline and looking to have a $30 billion total available market for that pipeline. Our lead candidate addresses delayed emergence from anesthesia, and that looks to be a $2.2 billion service obtainable market in the United States. We're looking to bring that product to market as a repurposed drug product. In doing so, we save roughly between 6 to 8 years in product and preclinical development. A couple disclosure slides. So management team, very deep. I'm only going to touch on 2 people at this present time, which is the first is our interim chief medical officer, used to be the global chief medical officer over at Shearing, notably materially developed Bridion, which was the last blockbuster drug product in the anesthesia space. And in doing so, Merck launched that product worldwide and achieves over several $1 billion a year in sales. Myself, been a part of a couple different drug product development programs, and notably took the US 340B program for Walgreens from $10 million to $9.2 billion. Our pipeline is a series. Can we go back one? Can we go back a slide? Okay. Our pipeline is a series of label expansions to reduce overall investor risk and development risk for the opportunity. Notably, I'll talk to OYE 101 and 301 later on, but OYE 201 was brought to our attention by the Department of Defense, and we address a gap in care for military medicine. And in doing so, we believe that there will be significant civilian label use after the product's approval for the military. Delayed emergence from anesthesia. Most understand that anesthesia is safe and effective in today's day and age, but I'm here to tell you that delayed emergence leads to roughly 2.4 million days of extra hospitalization, roughly 35,000 additional hospital-acquired conditions, and over 32,000 deaths annually. Dr. Shippert had demonstrated by reducing the time from the last stitch to exit of the operating room, hospitals could save roughly about $100,000 per surgery suite. What we're doing is targeting patient populations that have a high incidence rate for complications specifically related to delayed emergence, being overweight, persons with obstructive sleep apnea, in addition to the elderly, and then persons undergoing robotic surgical cases. We ultimately target roughly about 21 out of the 100 million surgical procedures annually in the US. And why can't that be ignored? It can't be ignored because the surgical enterprise at hospitals and surgery centers across the country drive revenue. They're the largest source of revenue, largest source of contribution margin, largest source of expense, and also largest source of risk for these hospitals and surgery centers across the US. Our OYE 301 addresses opioid-induced respiratory depression and addresses the opioid epidemic. And if you're not familiar with the fact that ages 18 to 45 has now become the leading cause of death in opioid overdose, has become the leading cause of death in that patient population going forward. Premier estimates that that's costing US hospitals roughly $11 billion annually. And what we're doing is bringing a non-opioid receptor, CNS stimulant and respiratory stimulant to address this problem, to be used adjunctively with naloxone. So again, this is a prior approved small molecule. The previous product was not conducive for use in the new indication. It was approved for apnea in premature infants. We significantly made some enhancements to the formulation, improved the shelf life. That attracted the attention for OYE 201 in the Department of Defense and the development of that product. We significantly improved solubility, which now makes it conducive to dosing in an adult subject for the indication of delayed anesthesia, and we reformulated so it would not recrystallize out in the operating room at lower temperatures. We have 4 different IP or patent families around formulation alone that should be all Orange Book listed. The proof of concept was completed at the University of Chicago, where we addressed delayed emergence from anesthesia, developed a suitable dose for the new indication, also demonstrates proof of concept, no adverse events or side effects associated with the product. And what caught my attention and got me out of retirement was this. Healthy human subjects were woken up 6.9 minutes faster than placebo in a crossover design. A healthy human subject undergoing a knee or something else, a simple procedure, will almost walk themselves off the OR table into recovery. And what they did was they found 6.9 minutes that the anesthesiology groups and researchers did not believe existed at that point. From my professional experience on the outpatient services side, that created a safer environment in terms of achieving a, can we go back one again? Sorry. I don't know if I'm waving my hand or what, but achieve the ability to achieve a safe airway 50% faster, your ability to reduce the time or episode of care in recovery by almost 50%, and the patients were waking at a cognitive state that was significantly improved compared to standard of care. And from that point in time, you have the ability to have a safer, better, more effective product in the marketplace and help these prospective patient populations where you have products that are overweight, obese, obstructive sleep apnea, and address those populations effectively. So we had a pre-IND meeting with the FDA, aligned with the FDA's thoughts regarding guidance for the approval process for clinical development and regulatory development. That resulted in a retooling of our clinical development protocol. In doing so, we believe that there's a higher likelihood of success, and most importantly, the FDA shortened our timeline to market by completing a single pivotal study to achieve NDA. Most recently presented at JP Morgan, had the ability to, a couple weeks after that, received our first term sheet, and that was for our Series A. The Series A completes all clinical and regulatory development to achieve our new drug application. So thank you, and look forward to talking to anybody afterwards.